Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Awesome in Seattle podcast. This is your host, Christian Nossum with the Awesome Nossum Group at Wilson Realty Exchange. And today I have two amazing guests. First, I have my lovely wife and co-host, Miss Shannon Nossum.
Hello. I am here. I don't know if I'm a guest, but...
Well, I mean, you're a co-host, I said.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, you're my co-host. And then we have a guest, a very special guest. We actually had her husband on an episode, I don't know,
a couple months ago,
talking about flipping and dormers and things like that. This is Fabiola Pappas.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes,
this is
so
very exciting.
We have her on because she's the other half of the flipping success that is Raleigh and Favi. And she does all of the design, and that's what we're talking about today. We're talking all about designing on a budget. So this can work for whether you are a homeowner, whether you're a flipper, whether you're a developer, any of the above. If you want to design something beautiful on a budget, this episode is for you. She's going to share a lot of secrets and a lot of tips. So you're definitely going to want to hang out until the very end, because at the end we ask some good rapid fire questions. So let's get into it. Shannon, do you have anything you want to start with?
Yes. Well, I've been really excited to talk to you because I also design art projects typically. And I'm always so impressed when we've walked a lot of your projects over time, and they're always gorgeous. And I feel awkward in life to just be like, tell me everything. Where did you get every single thing? So it's great to sit down and have a reason to kind of drill you and find out all your secrets, because you do such a beautiful job. And they sell really, really well. So
thank you.
I'm very excited to find out. We actually have a very similar background, weirdly. We both used to be attorneys and now are real estate investors. So tell us about your background. How did you get into designing, and what did you used to do?
Yes, you're right. We both are lawyers. And so I used to be a lawyer in Peru, and things related to human trafficking and drug and corruption. And from there, when I moved here, so it was such a specific niche that it was kind of hard to find something that fit with that background. But I did it regardless. I work in a nonprofit regarding to human trafficking, and then the pandemic just hit, and all the courts were closed. So that is when we all were at home and say, "What do I do right now?" So Raleigh and I would just get our first property, and we say, "Hey, how about we fix everything here?" And I thought that was a great idea, but as a lawyer, we always like to be informed first before anything else.
Yes.
So I took a couple classes and online classes, because also there were not many designers providing services out there. So that's how everything started. Raleigh and I, we started doing everything for our house. He was the architect, the engineer, the electrician, everything, and I did all that design. But I remember myself taking all these classes, making sure that the balance was correct, lighting was appropriated. So that is how it started back in 2019. And since then, we started with our first fleet. I remember that was in Renton, and we haven't stopped since then.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of class was it? What was it through?
Shannon's like, I want to take this.
Maybe I should take it.
I think the name of the designer was Erin. She's a well-known designer for those Discovery channels. So that's how I started. It was for beginners, for people like, hey, I want to do my own remodel at home. So it was very, very friendly for beginners.
Wow.
That's really cool. Yeah.
So were you at all interested in design before that? Or was it something that you just kind of like fell into and you're like, oh, you can do all that. You don't know how to design. I know. So let me take that part.
I would say that I've always been exposed, because since I was very little, my grandparents and my parents as well, they love constructions. They always build a house. We're from Peru, so we have a house in the city. Then we have a sort of farm. Then we have another house that we have in that deep mountains in Peru. So I always sense construction, and I remember that, I think that will look good on that space. And it's funny because right now, one of my favorite subjects is tile. And when I was probably 10 or 12, I remember that I love when my grandma or my mom brought me to the tile store, and I have to help her to select it. Yeah, but I never imagined that I will be doing this for my life.
Yeah.
And then I love architecture. I love art too. So I'm one of those people that can go to Italy and spend hours just looking at it, and I get so into it. I just get the books and read about the architect. So I feel like all these things are related to design, and it's always been part of my life somehow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you're a mom. Do you ever bring your son with you to your projects and go?
I do.
Does he
bring
pick
Mateo.
tile with you?
He likes that. It's so funny because sometimes I make my own mood boards. So when we are working with partners and I want to show them what is my vision for the project, so I bring the tile samples, countertop samples, and Mateo, my son, has been exposed to construction since he was 4 months old. Wow. So it's funny that now he's 3 years old and his vocabulary is very, very good for construction. He uses words like, I like this countertop. Great color, Mom. So he will compliment you on that type of thing. So yeah, he has been exposed. He loves to work to go to the projects. Sometimes he say, I don't want to go to school. I want to go to the projects. So
Buddy, that's so cute. That's so good for them.
That's so cute. Yeah.
That's so good for them. One of the things I really like about your designs is that it doesn't feel like a flip. And I've heard that from people. Somebody went and looked at one of your houses recently and said, and they didn't know that I knew you guys, said, oh, I went over to this house and I saw it. And it just doesn't feel like, I think it's just a homeowner lived there. I don't think it was a flip. Like they didn't know. It felt too homey. And I was like, oh, wow, that's a really good compliment. That people didn't track that it was a flip. They just tracked that they liked it a lot, and it felt really like warm and nice. And so how do you kind of separate what feels like flip from making it feel like that?
Yeah, that is essentially what you have described. We build homes. We just don't do a flip. So every project that we work on, it's completely different. So none of them are similar. And it's because we try to keep the charm of every single home. We just don't want to go with modern things. We respect every single space. And the other thing is that we put a lot of intention of our designs. So every time that I'm there, I'm picturing myself, how it will be if this will be my home. But I see people say, okay, this is the kitchen. Well, how it will look when people are hosting. So I make sure that the flow is the correct flow. And if there are some windows, we try to find the potential for this. Hey, this will be nice if we create a little coffee bar here so people can enjoy in their morning. And I think all these elements make our projects, our flips looks different. We put a lot of details and things that people don't normally care. For example, every single hardware, it's different. We want to create that sensory experience, something that you walk in, you touch it, and you remember that house. Hey, I remember that house with those pools and those little details. Oh, the house with that fireplace. So that is my vision for every single project. We really want to create this effect, like as soon as the buyer walk in, they feel like this is home.
Oh.
Yep. Well, you're succeeding at that. So
yeah, you do a great job of that.
Thanks.
You're very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Let's talk about sourcing materials, because that is one of the harder things, especially on a budget. Where are you actually sourcing your materials that are like on budget or below budget? Like, what are some of your tips?
That is a great question. Before we jump into just sourcing materials, something that it's very important, especially if it's your first flip, is to have a great plan.
I agree.
Planning is essential.
Yeah.
And when I say planning, the design actually start with the right floor plan. So before you move into finishes, make sure that you have the right flow, you have the right space. We want to offer buyers this experience. Maybe a flip, but it might feel spacious, harmonious. So before you go into finishes, make sure you have the right floor plan.
That's a great point.
And that it's a lot of your budget is gonna go to the structural part.
Agreed.
In my case, it's kind of easy when I'm working with Raleigh because I'm also have external clients. But when I'm working with Raleigh, we make sure that the floor plan is the correct. Once we have defined that aspect of our projects, we move into finishes, because finding the right material is having the right budget. Once you have the right budget, a very honest budget, you can find materials because you know
That's a
how
good
much
point.
is you're going to spend.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I want
Yeah.
to share all my sources
Yeah.
with you guys. So for tile, one of my favorite places to go is to CFN in Kent. I will say try to work your network. Find somebody that will be your partner there and be honest with your budget. They can help you to find beautiful tile with your budget.
Yeah.
So
CFM in Kent.
CFN and Kent.
So that's
Not-
Contract Furnishing Mart.
Yeah.
And do you need to be a general contractor to
You need to create an
Okay.
account with them. Yes,
Got it.
Sure. But I also will recommend you guys, if you have time, of course, because being an investor or a flipper requires a lot of time. But if you have the time to go and explore places like Soto or Georgetown, that is really good because you can find those little outlets where they have this timeless tile that goes with many, many styles, or you can find something unique as well. So go and visit those areas. There are many outlets there, but there are also specific tile stores. Like one of my favorites is Arizona Tile. So they have a Silicia style tile that it looks very high end, but it's under $10 per square foot.
Oh, I've never been there.
Yeah, well,
okay,
yes.
I'm taking notes.
We should go and have a tour and do
Oh,
all of this.
absolutely. It's
Yeah.
a date. I'm
It's
so
really
there.
good when you are creating your network with these type of businesses because they will let you know in advance what is going to be trendy. So usually at the beginning of the year, they have all these samples before they release that on the market. Say, hey, this is going to be trendy this year. So you can make your plan based on that in
That's
advance.
huge.
And when you put your house in the market, nobody's going to have that time necessarily. So it gives you a lot of room for planning.
That's
and
huge.
Yeah. And for
So
design.
you're ahead of the design, kind of.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's
Sometimes.
exciting.
Yeah. Instead of being like following the trend and being on the tail end of the trend that's already ended or ending. So, yeah.
And then for countertops, I think many of our of your audience knows that it's Bias is a good source for
Pius
that.
is a great source for that. Yeah.
Another one that I would recommend is Crafterland in Taquila. They also have huge variety of countertops, but in a very, very good price. Some people believe that might be a little bit expensive, but I think it depends of the type of project that you are working on. So it's another good place to go for countertops.
What kind of countertops are you using? And do you switch up the style based on the project? Like,
Yes.
what are you liking? Do you do a dark countertop? Are you doing a light countertop? Are you doing veining? Are you doing a Taj Mahal? Like, what are you liking right now?
People are now very attractive to warmer tones. So Taj Mahal is a good one. Then it's Kashmir Manja that you can find it at.
We did in our house.
I was like, that's what's in my house.
It's beautiful.
It's so pretty.
We also did that in our last project at Purage, and people love it.
Yes.
And people are looking for those tones, those creamy tones. However, it depends of the style of the house
Totally,
and how you combine the materials. For our project at Ballard, we went with a classic calacara, but we brought the countertop 10 inches up and we put a little shelf, a ledge. And we combined it with a very simple Salicia style. Was super affordable, but the combination of all these materials and the warm tone from the cabinets turned out as something completely different.
Cool.
So you can be creative. Of course, you can go trendy, but you can also work with simple materials that can give you an amazing outcome. And it is how much you can play with the materials. So, but so those are the tiles that right now buyers are looking for, but there is always room for other type of countertops.
Are you doing quartzite, marble? Like, what are you using?
We normally use quartz. That's a really good question because we notice that buyers don't actually know the difference when they walk in.
They don't. Yeah.
And also there is a very minimum amount of buyers that ask for it. Is this quartz? Is this quartzite? Is this marble? They basically don't ask. And my favorite in terms of a resistant material will be quartz. But if, let's say that we are working in a different project and we want to achieve something more natural or more elevated, I might go with quartzite for places like in a wet bar where the traffic is little. So yes, you can also combine them. It will depend of what type of result do you want to achieve with your design.
Totally.
Yeah.
And where the countertop is. Like we did a little
outdoor
like pass-through window, and it had a bar on the outside. And even though we used the same countertop that you were saying, the outside we couldn't use that because it was outdoor and you can't. It would discolor, so we ended up using Taj Mahal outside. Yeah.
So actual quartz, because
Yeah.
yeah.
So
When
we use natural stone like Taj Mahal, we want to make sure that we seal those materials because it must be sealed every year. Mostly. So that's something that we know. If we use Taj Mahal or white macabus, which is another natural stone, we disclose that with our buyers so they can maintain. And so we're careful with those type of things.
That's a good reminder. We need to make sure. That
I was like, wait, we need to do that.
Continuously do that.
Thank you for that tip.
So,
We forgot about
my
that.
house, Raleigh will kill me because that is quite over budget. But I would probably go with a material called Decton, so you can toss coffee, wine, and everything, and it will never
Doesn't
stay.
matter. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
very budget friendly budget work here. But anyways,
All right, so let's talk lighting and plumbing fixtures. They can completely change the feel of a house.
Yes.
What are your favorites for that, and what are you kind of leaning towards?
well, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends always of what type of project you are working with. But in Seattle, the majority of the houses leans towards a craftsman style. So we normally go with brass or brush gold finishes. And it will depend on the style of the house. I can go with a very high end because that is something that I like to invest a good amount of money because that's something that people are going to touch and see and remember.
Numerous times a day, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that that is a good fixture. So for a high-end project, I will go with Signature Hardware. They have a very unique pieces. Then I will also go with Kohler. There is a special collab between Studio McGee and Kohler that is beautiful if you are working with a craftsman style house or a Tudor house. So it's so beautiful. For an intermediate level, I would probably go. Sometimes you can find good offers from Kohler. It will be Kohler, Delta. And there is two brands from Amazon that I really like. It looks good. One is named Kraus. It is modern.
Yep, I've used that before.
It's nice finish. It doesn't look cheap. It's heavy.
It's
good.
heavy duty, yeah.
Yes. And it's, well, we did a project, I think, a year ago, maybe probably longer than that. The buyer contact us, say, hey, I haven't had any problem with this light feature, so that is good reassurance to continue using that. Looks good, doesn't affect your budget at all. Great. And the other faucet that I use, it's called, I think, Forios, something like that on Amazon. It's very affordable. It's under $60, but performs really well. It is a really good product.
Yeah.
So those will be my
What
source.
I've experienced is you don't want to go cheap on plumbing.
Exactly.
Because if there's a plumbing leak, that's an expensive thing to fix.
Yes.
So even though you can get super cheap, good looking faucets and things like that on Amazon or at Home Depot or Lowe's, don't recommend it usually. You got to make sure that it's actually heavy duty and gonna last. And so that's why
it's good to hear that you've tried some of those, because I've looked at them and wondered how it was in real life, how it felt, how it worked, and so it's good to hear that you guys have
and
tested those
I said,
out.
I also have external clients. My first and most important client is Raleigh Papas, but I don't have exclusivity with him.
for design.
For design. That's a good point. So when I'm working with clients, I always ask them, hey, how do you feel about these plumbing features? Well, so you have any complaint about it? Say, no, so far it's good. Everything is working properly. So it's a good sign to continue using that brand.
That's awesome. And then lighting. Where do you like to get your lighting?
Oh, gosh. I love lighting. Lighting is, as you said, Kristen, something that can definitely transform the space.
Yes.
So don't go that cheap on lighting, okay? My favorite store is Lamp Plus. Not only because they have a huge variety that you can select many styles from, but also they have a physical store. So for those that are new, you can go to the store and see the material before you buy it. And they also can help you with making decisions. Sometimes when you are just starting on this business, you don't know which is the right size for your lighting. Is this too much? Is this little? Is this right for my project? So they can assist with that type of questions.
That's huge, because I've gone into so many homes and I look at the lighting and I'm like, that's a great fixture, but it's way too small. It's like 12 inches and it should be like 36 inches wide or something like that.
Scaling is a really hard part of design.
It is a huge part, and that is also what makes that design elevated.
Yes.
You can see the intentionality of that design when you see that the scale is according to the space. And for lighting, yes, Lamplace is my favorite. Then I have Wayfair, Amazon sometimes. But I will also say, if you have the time, go and check Etsy. For my last project at Beard, I found this little brass wall sconces that everybody love it, and they ask me, where is this from? I say, this is from the store on Etsy.
Wow.
It takes time, so that's what also planning is really important, because you can place your order appropriately. But oh man, for the price and the design, it is amazing. So it looks very high end, and I think I paid for everyone $120. It's not a bad price.
That's a good price.
But they did such a great job.
Okay.
Such a great job. So if you have time, take a look some those little stores.
That's a great tip.
I've never thought about doing that.
Yeah.
That's really
I'm
great.
surprised with that. But yeah. And another thing that I would like to add for lighting. So a huge believer that lighting can elevate a space or work
Against you.
against you.
Yeah.
So if you have the opportunity to watch videos about direct or indirect lighting, so different tones, like a 3K Kelvin lighting.
3,000 Kelvin.
3,000, exactly.
Yeah.
So make sure that you have
6,000 or 6,500 or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, it can really change the feel.
Yes. So we want to create this atmosphere that you feel welcome. So make sure that you have the right light. And then when I say direct and indirect, yes, you have your recessed light, but you also have different sources. First of all, is the natural light.
Yeah.
So then you have your wall sconces, you have pendants, you have a chandelier. So make sure that all of them work in a harmonious way.
Yes.
So that's going to create a lot of balance. So,
Yep.
and the other thing that I would say, if you go with a big thing here, try to go with something more minimalist in the other. So it will compensate, it will create balance.
Take away. Yeah, that's smart.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you said was that the buyers don't really notice the type of countertop. They might notice how it looks, but they aren't asking about the material. Is there something else that you no longer spend a lot of money on because you know they're not going to really notice it?
Yes. Flooring. Yeah. Riley and I, we used to use engineering wood on every single project. And every time the people walk in, they say, oh, is this hardwood or LVP? So, and that was a common question. So we ended up saying, they actually don't really know.
Yeah.
So if you find the right LVP, the right floor, it's gonna be good. So that is something that I actually don't.
Well, and there's a wide range between cheap LVP and very nice LVP.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so, yeah, you can get some really nice LVP that looks amazing and will withstand anything and everything you throw at it, and it's waterproof, and you're not going to have issues long term with it.
Yeah, another thing there, it's having the right workmanship. So
True.
that is crucial. So
Yeah.
Before you do anything else, make sure that everything is level. You can have the most beautiful house, the most beautiful floor, and everything, but if you walk in and it makes sounds like a click, click, it's not really cool. So make sure that your people are working, your contractor or whoever you are working with, they are doing that correctly.
That makes sense.
Let's talk about design trends and what buyers are actually loving right now. So what design choices make people walk into a house and they're going, oh my gosh, I love this house. Like what are some of your tricks in that regard?
You know what? I have two tips for that. So create a statement pieces. Work on your fireplace if you have one, and then work on your kitchen. So
Yes.
every single fireplace in our property are completely unique.
Yeah.
You won't see another one like that. And that's what the buyers notice. So that level of detail and attention, they will notice that.
That's
They will
super
see.
smart,
Yes,
yeah.
because they can picture themselves having a coffee in the morning or watching a movie with their partners or friends. So invest on that. It is not a lot of money. You will actually be surprised how affordable it can be to make a nice fireplace. So invest on that.
Yep.
That is a good tip. It will
Okay.
elevate your space. It will make it looks different. That is a crucial differentiator between a flip and an elevated
Very
design.
true. Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
if you
think you're
don't
right.
have a wood burning or even a natural gas fireplace, there's some really nice looking electric ones
Yeah,
out there.
that's true.
Personally, I used to hate them. But we just installed one and I actually love it. And we turn it on almost every day at this point, if not just for the mood. We don't even turn on the heat all the time, but just to set the mood because
Yeah.
it's beautiful. And
I mean,
it's fun.
gas is always preferred or wood burning, but if you
Always, yeah.
can't,
But if you
Yes.
can't, there
Yeah.
are some really realistic looking electric ones that look great.
Yeah, and when I say that, it's normally when you see this new construction, you will see the classic 12 by 12 tile all over the fireplace.
Yeah.
Try to be more creative. Combine textures.
Yep.
Combine painting techniques. So sometimes a nice lime wash technique, which is extremely affordable,
Yeah.
can create a very nice ambience.
Yeah.
So combine these two warming colors, or combine that technique with a little piece of tile. Sometimes you can find those fluted tiles, like I did for one of my projects at Ballard. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It actually wasn't that expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially, you're not getting a lot of that tile either. Because it's
Yeah.
a fireplace.
It's
It's just the sides.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't have to buy all that much, and you can spend a little more of the budget on it because you're only buying 12 tiles or whatever.
Yeah, or you can use those slabs that it's a reminder from your countertops, so you can ask
True,
the
good point.
the counter
That's a really good
installer
point.
to cut it and put it there. Because those are small pieces, but it will make a huge difference.
Yeah.
And I was saying another interesting selling point, or something that you walk into our properties and say, "Oh my gosh, I love the house," is the kitchen.
Yep.
So we make sure that we have the right floor plan, the right flow, the great distribution, proper amount of storage, so they can see. We also create intentional spaces, like we have a wet bar, or we have a coffee bar, we have this type of pantry. And I will say, start of the show, it's our bespoke range hood.
Yeah.
So all of them have a unique design. We
Yep.
have molding, we have wooden pieces, we do plaster, sometimes we do tile too. So make sure that you have something that is unique.
Yeah.
And if you can, because it's not always on budget, but a different sort of lighting in your kitchen. So that's going to create a different ambience.
That's so smart. Are there any specific features you've done recently where you've gotten really good buyer feedback, where they'll get passed on that they love this specific piece or area?
Yeah, again, the fireplace.
fireplace.
They love the
Yeah.
fireplace. They
Okay.
say, "Oh my gosh, I love this detail."
Yeah.
And another feature, more than feature finishes that they really care, it's about the tile. So invest a little bit of time on sourcing good tile, different tile. Like I feel like buyers are to start to getting bored of the classic 12 by 12 or
Yes.
the average penny tile, or that white subwood tile. So trying to find a unique tile for your properties.
It's a good tip.
We're going to pause real quick because I think the countertop people are calling.
Oh,
Did they call you too?
my phone was buzzing. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, call them back real quick. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
You know how this goes.
I know.
Let's mark this down. We're at.
Hey, this is Christian. I think I just missed your call.
Try to pull your mic a little closer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
Pull it closer to you. Perfect.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, we're ready. I'm not there at the moment, but there is the door on the side of the house should be open. So if you can pull into the driveway, and I sent texts explaining like there's water and power between the driveway, the garage door, and the front door. And then there's a side door to the right of the garage door. There's a little gate, and then there's a side door right there, and that should be unlocked and ready for you to get in. Yes, it's in a box that's right across from the cabinets. It's in the same room. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, give me a call if you have any issues or anything like that, or feel free to text me. Yeah. Do we need a soap dispenser or just a faucet hole?
Just a hole.
Just a single hole? Is that right? Do you have the faucet?
It's there. Maybe he can look. I
The
truly don't
faucet
remember.
is on site. I don't remember if it's a single hole or a triple hole or what, but it's on site. It's sitting right there. Yep, thank you. All right, bye-bye.
You good?
Oh yeah, I was thinking also about my child that ordered and said, thank you. No, I was wondering if
Yeah.
I pick it up.
Yes.
We have 12 projects right now.
Wow.
It was so funny, really. At the beginning of the year, we have 12. We sold 4 of them.
Yeah.
And we were saying, oh yeah, 9 is a good number. And then he
Or
said,
more.
you know what? There's a new deal in Magnolia. And they said, somebody else brought a deal in Alki. I think we should do it.
Yeah.
And now we have 12 again.
Crazy. That's a lot.
That's a lot. But Raleigh can do it. That's the
Raleigh
thing.
can do it. And
can
our
handle
crew
it.
too. We are very lucky with
Yeah.
the crew
You
that we
guys
have.
a
Yeah.
very good crew. I agree. All right,
Okay,
where were
let's
we? Why did
start. I'm about to ask, I can ask if buyers have shifted away from the all-white modern farmhouse kitchen.
Okay,
That's a question. Okay.
perfect.
Okay, I'll pay that 32. Okay, so next question. You saw this online a lot, which was the white farmhouse kitchen, farmhouse style. Is that gone now?
I hear from many designers that, yes, that's gone. I wouldn't say that it's completely gone because it depends of every project. Sometimes you, and let's make a clear note here about what is the white cabinets because there are so many undertones. You have warm whites, like one of my favorites, biscuit or Swiss coffee. So if you're working with suppliers like a Belmont, so you can, it's a completely different type of white.
Yeah.
And
I
when you
agree.
mix that with a nice countertop like Taj Mahal, the outcome is completely different.
Yes. Good point.
So I wouldn't say that it's 100% gone. I would say it depends of every project. Every project is different. And sometimes you might require to work with a white cabinet because you don't have a big space. So if you place something that is trendy, like a walnut or a white oak cabinet, you might feel the space little and crowded. So sometimes you have to work.
good point.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because we just installed white cabinets in a very tiny space in our basement.
Yes.
And I'm going to install white cabinets in my project at Capitol Hill. It's a big project, but it would be nice to have those white cabinets to keep the
Yeah.
essence of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on
It
the
still
project.
works in certain circumstances.
All right, so when you're budgeting design for a flip, where are you generally putting most of the design budget? Is it kitchen, bathrooms, somewhere else? Like what is...
Curb appeal.
Yeah.
Those are great questions, though. But I will say, first thing, planning. More than going with the kit. I know many designers will say, no, yes, kitchen, bathrooms, of course, I will say, make sure that you have the right floor plan.
It's true.
Buyers love open space. They
Yes.
want to feel like, oh my gosh, this feels suspicious. No matter how beautiful your kitchen is gonna be or your bathroom is gonna be, if the space is not functional. So if that
Or
is
if
not
it's too
functional,
cramped or too
Exactly.
big and taking up too much space, then it's...
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
yeah.
Yep.
Once you have figured out that part, then it's when you can move into the next step. That
Well, it's
of
so
the
much
kitchen.
easier to design, too, at that point. Once you
Yeah.
have a real clear idea of the space, it kind of makes the job a little bit easier.
If the space makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
easier to design.
Yeah, I would say have the right floor plan and also the right amount of natural light. Sometimes windows are necessary before into jump to kitchens, bathroom. Make sure that you have those 2 points secure, and then you can move to your kitchen, bathrooms, and your curve appeal. Curve appeal is really important too,
Yeah.
but let's make sure about the floor plan.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Let's talk about paint, wallpaper. I'm
Wow.
excited for this part because I know one of the cheapest things that you can do is use paint. And sometimes we're driving down the street and I'm like, Who told them they should paint this house
Color.
orange with bright neon lime green trim? I'm like, you guys,
What are you
I
Yeah,
can't.
I've seen those well-known Zigag's house. I don't know if you drive through West Seattle, and it's blue and that green.
Yeah.
And it's unique. Or my favorite, this was from Mateo actually. We were in Capitol Hill, and there was a yellow house with a red door, and he said, "It's Coco Melon House." It's Coco and I stopped and say, "You actually right, Mateo. That looks like a
Good catch.
Coco Melon House."
Aw, that's so
Should
cute.
get out, take a photo with him in the front. And you were in front of the
People are like,
Coco
what are
house.
you doing?
But yeah, painting, it's important. So
It
you can
is.
go from something very elevated to something that is actually funny. Like your kid will say, "That's from the show."
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, painting,
Absolutely.
it's crucial.
Do you have any exterior colors you really like right now?
I would say one for mid-century houses. It's a sort of black. I can't remember right now, but it's iron black, something like
Oh, yeah, yeah. Iron ore.
Iron ore, exactly. I love that one. We use that on our flip at Pollard. People love it.
I love that color
for
too.
To improve the color appeal, we did some soffit, so the contrast between the natural good and that deep color. Plus, we used on exterior lighting for the landscape. Wow, the house at night was beautiful. So with all the lightings and details, that was a great way to go.
That's good to hear because we did that on our
Speaking of the opposite color, I know that most of the paint in the house is probably some sort of a white. What color is your like go-to white right now? Or do you have a
Interior
few
white.
that you switch back and forth with?
It's a question that only a designer is gonna ask you, because if you ask your builder, they will say all of them are white.
Yeah.
But that is not true. So there are so many type of white.
Oh yeah.
And so I will say it depends of the amount of natural light that you're getting. But one of my favorite is Swiss Coffee from Benjamin Moore. That
Love
is
that
a
color.
very warming, and elegant, and timeless white. Then I will say Alabaster from Sherwin-Williams.
yeah.
And somewhat a white that is very easy to go with anything. Even if you have a lot of light or a little bit of light, it's snowbound. Snowbound is also good for, it's a good white. And yeah, those are my favorite whites from
Yeah.
Benjamin
Those are
Moore.
all good
And
ones.
I love all those too. Those are great.
All right, so as an agent, I show a lot of houses as well. I'm seeing wallpaper more and more. Is this back? Are we back with wallpaper now?
I think we are back with wallpaper. And that is something that buyers from Seattle, they love it.
Yeah.
They love wallpaper.
just
They do.
love that.
It's so funny.
But something that that is the sort of material that you have to invest a good amount of money and find the right installer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's huge.
it's not something that you can just hand to your contractor. So it's not something that
It's
you
a
need
skill.
to. Yeah, because it can either elevate it or bring it down. So you need to make sure about that. I noticed that one of the most trendy wallpaper right now is those that are very floral, moody, like those rich tone, like a deep green, or the mural one. Those ones that looks like the forest or landscaping. I love those. Actually, I'm gonna use one of those for my project at Capitol Hill. We wanna install that in the powder room
Love
with
that.
brass accents for wall sconces. So it's gonna
Ooh,
be. It's
that's
be
gonna
cool.
look so good.
Nice.
That's gonna
Yeah.
look so good.
And make sure that you're selecting the right wallpaper for your project. It's not the same going with that mural for a classic craftsman style or going with a mid-century wallpaper. So make sure that you're finding the one that match with your project.
Yes. So if you're not going to use wallpaper as a statement, let's say you're going to use paint, like a bold paint color. What rooms are you going to use that in? And do you have any favorites?
My favorite place to use color, it's the powder room. That's and then the office. But you also can use it in small spaces like a wet bar. So we have a really, really small wet bar about probably this side and one of our property and Beacon Hill, and our realtor said, how about we paint this wall with a little bit of black and with the brass and glass is gonna look good. And I said, you know what, you're right. We just add some paint and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So that is another good place to put. And I think something interesting on my baller project. So we have this big staircase. What I did is I just changed the color of the one of the walls. So we have this pendant, the lighting, and a more darker color in the back. So when you walk into the house, people say, "Oh my gosh, I love that chandelier. I love those pendants." And what is making it look special is not the light feature by itself; it's the color that
Because
is
it can
behind.
actually like pop.
Exactly, it
pop
pops.
out.
It was a taupey tone, so that with the brass and the light, it looks very elegant. And and it's so affordable. It's just painting, so
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
So yeah, I believe in the power of painting.
Yeah.
I believe too.
Agreed. One last thing on paint. So with exterior colors, how do you choose which color? Because we can all have our favorite exterior color, but if every house on the street is another shade of that same color, how do you know what to choose?
Yeah, I like to do this exercise when I have to pick the exterior color. So there are trends that you can get from Sherwin-Williams or Benjamin Moore, but this is my favorite exercise. I like to walk around the neighborhood, and I always trying to find a way that make my project pop. Sometimes it could be a darker colors, and sometimes can be the same color scheme. So what you want to achieve here is harmony. You want to make sure that your house is appealing, but at the same time, you want to maintain that balance between the neighborhood.
Yeah, you don't want to necessarily pop out in the wrong way.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to fit in somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I actually walked the View Ridge one with Raleigh, and he was asking, do you think we should paint this or this color or that color? The house next door is that color, but I think this would look really good. And I was like, I think you're right. I think that would look really good. So.
And I love that now we have tools like ChatGPT or Gemini that you can play around without having before we have to have all the samples, right?
Yeah.
And go and see if that works or not. Now you can ask ChatGPT or Gemini, hey, show me how this house will look with this color. So that's a great way to go. So sometimes when I'm working, especially with clients, so I do that exercise and I have to print all of them and so they can see the difference and say another thing that is good from Gemini or ChatGPT or any artificial intelligence, they can add the landscaping. So your clients or your business partners will have a full vision about. And if you need more and more, you can always post those on social media and ask people, what do you think? Option A, option B. So that's a good way to go.
Yeah, which is fun to do too.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that you use social media to try to stay on top of trends. I do too. I would love to know what some of your favorite people to follow to kind of get inspiration from.
That is a great question, and I believe that is actually what helps the most with design. My favorite, it depends of the style.
Totally, yeah.
One of my favorites is Shannon Nossum.
Well, thank you. You're my favorite too.
No, but your designs are really good. And I remember
Thank
when
you.
I start here, I start following you. I remember that you brought us, Raleigh and myself, to one of your projects. Say, oh my gosh, I like this style. It's serene, it's subtle. It's something that
Thank you.
I can relate with. Locally, I will say Shannon, Amanda McCain too.
Yes, she's
Amanda
great.
has such an amazing taste. It's a great sort of inspiration if you are just starting. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of this lady. She's from India. I can't remember.
Oh, Leica?
Lake is good too.
Yeah.
Lake is really good too. But something that I like about this lady, I need to make sure that I can
Find it.
I find her because she's really good with working with the smallest spaces and do not forcing the trends. So, sometimes when we are working with small bathrooms, we want to place at least 2 wall sconces. I noticed that she didn't force it. She just placed one light feature between the mirrors. Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. So,
Oh, that's a good idea.
that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
So, and outside of the Seattle area, I would say for craftsman style, go with the Studio McGee. Studio McGee is
amazing.
It's a great account to follow. Then I will say Becky Owens. I like Becky Owens too. She is really good with doing trends, but in smaller spaces. There another design from California, Madison. she's really good also with really, sometimes we have these constraints like a low ceilings. She's really good with that.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then it's Anne-Marie Barton. She's from Arizona. If you love mid-century style or you like modern style, follow her. She has a great taste for mid-century vibes. To finalize this, Stephanie from Clear Creek Collective. She is great for beginners, but also for seasoned flippers, because she's always gonna make clarification about the different type of style. So you asked me about farmhouse.
Yeah.
She's and I agree with her. We are transitioning from that to organic modern. So we are transitioning from mid-century to transitional modern. So it's good to follow her to know which style go with or which is your style. And she also shared a lot of tips for designing.
Yeah.
So those are my favorite accounts to follow.
Amazing. I need to follow some more people.
I think one thing that you keep bringing up that I think I want to point out so that people really understand is you need to first understand what style your home is, and then come up with a plan. And don't try to force, for instance, a super modern plan design with a craftsman style house, because that doesn't really work. You got to lean into whatever the actual home style is in order to elevate it.
Yes.
And I think that's where some people just they get disconnected. When I see flips that look like flips and just don't make sense, when you step back and you look at it, sometimes it's because the design they put into the house doesn't match the style.
Like a shiny flat panel on a craftsman, like shiny flat panel cabinet on a craftsman. You're like, no,
this doesn't work.
don't do
And
it.
Yeah.
believe it or not, that is something the buyers really care.
They do.
Especially in the Seattle area.
Yes.
They love to keep the charm of the house if it's a flip.
Yep.
So yes, don't force the trend. Not
Yeah.
because something is trendy, it means that it's gonna be adequate for your flip. So
Yep. Let's talk about kitchen cabinets, or I guess all cabinets. Wood tones are huge right now.
yes.
Which wood tones are you leaning towards, or where do you see the trends going?
Well, we work with flips. We have small space. Something when we see something trendy on a magazine or on an Instagram account, we don't have the same space.
Yeah.
So yes, warmer tones like a walnut or rich colors for cabinets are trendy now, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna work for your flip. So if you decide to go with a really dark or warmer tone for cabinets, make sure that you have enough natural lighting. So if you really want to go with that design or that style for your cabinets, make sure that you have a big window so that the space won't feel darker.
Yeah, and small.
In a small.
Yeah.
So another thing that you can do if you really want to go with that type of cabinets, skylights. So that will bring a lot of natural light. So
good
that
point,
that,
yeah.
that
He
will
loves the
I
skylight.
do love a
One
skylight.
of his favorite
I
things in
try to
life.
get them in everywhere, and we barely ever get them in.
Well, they just don't always make sense.
They don't.
Yeah,
Doesn't
but
mean
they
I
can
don't want it.
transform the space
Yeah.
because I have a client in Redmond. Ceilings were 7.6, not even 8 feet, so it was really low ceilings, and the kitchen was dark.
Yeah.
So we added skylighting next to the kitchen, and it's a big difference. We do white cabinets for uppers and white oak for the lowers.
Oh, nice.
And great balance because they say, yeah, I'm not convinced about this kitchen. I think I shouldn't buy this house. Say, take your time. Once you finish the whole product, then you're gonna like it because this add more light and make it the space feel bigger. So yeah.
Are there any specific trends you're seeing in general or in the tile field?
Either layout
one.
or
Like how it's laid out or specific colors, materials?
Yeah, for tile, what is trending now are I've noticed it from Edward Martin, which is a great reference for tile trends. So they have these 2x9 or 2x12 large tile, and they are placed vertically like a stack, but they create this stripe pattern, so you will have two tones.
I
and
love
they
that.
That is something that is trendy right now. Or you have the classic 4x4 in a slish finish tile, and they're combining two colors, so that create like a checkerboard pattern for shower walls. That's another thing that I've been noticed lately.
Yeah.
I think buyers from Seattle have a positive response to that trend. Amanda did one of those for and people just love it. I haven't get to that point yet because one of my latest flip was more like a mid-century style. So we went with a fluted tile, reverse fluted tile, so and with a deep baton. So, but yeah, that is trendy now for tile. And the layout for that tile is normally vertical stock, and then you combine two colors. There is an affordable way to achieve that look. There is a tile from Surfer Art. It's quite cheaper than Edward Martin, but you can achieve the same look.
Oh, nice.
So that's
nice.
That is something that it's always in budget. You just need to be creative.
I thought about doing that in our kids' bathroom.
Yep.
But then I didn't. I did a square blue tile. It's really pretty. I'm happy
Amanda
with it.
did it in her
it looked
own
great.
house. It looks amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I think
love
it's really
too.
pretty. I'll probably do it.
Okay, so we talked about trends. What about trends that are dying, or what do you think are dying? What are ending?
So I will say the hardcore mid-century and hardcore farmhouse are dying. So how they are already transitioning into other styles like organic modern or modern transitional, or they're called different ways. But I will say those styles are dying. Good paneling, it's dying too.
Yeah.
We've seen that everywhere. Here.
So I feel like every podcast studio has that.
We need to learn the design of this studio. So that's that.
Yeah.
It's dying now, but we are gonna be those big panels. So we're going with the smaller one to the massive panel, floor to ceiling, especially in offices or fireplaces too. It could be. I like to use that on bedrooms. So you can put it in the back of your bedrooms, and with that bright lighting, it creates a very sophisticated style. So
Nice.
these type of wood panels are dying, but a new type of good panels are coming. So
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Let's talk about technology. We already kind of touched on AI and how you can definitely utilize that to see what a space could look like. Are you using any rendering software or 3D modeling or anything like that?
yeah, and my case is quite unique how I use this type of technology because I have Raleigh.
Yeah.
He has a great imagination. So when it's our projects, I don't necessarily use all of them unless we have a partnership and we need to combine our idea properly, or we want just to show our partner how are we going to work with this project. So just to make sure that we are all on the same page, yes, sometimes I will use SketchUp for 3D rendering. It will depend of how deep we want to go or how much we need to show our partners. But we have SketchUp. We also work with Chief Architect. SketchUp have the different levels, so you can have just the sketch, or you can create a BRI image, which is extremely realistic.
Oh, wow.
I did one from one project, and I mean, I should pause the picture from the render and the picture from the bathroom.
You should.
Yeah,
I wanna see.
because it is basically the same.
Wow.
Yeah, so every once in a while we will use that in our projects. But when I'm working with clients, yes, I do render at least kitchen, bathrooms, and main areas. I use SketchUp for them, and so the client will have a clear vision.
Yeah.
If it's a client that is very hesitant about that design, sometimes I schedule an appointment. I don't know if you're familiar with Work Your Plans. Work Your Plans, it's a type of service that they will bring you to a warehouse and they will project your floor plans.
Oh, I
Yes.
have
So
seen
you,
that.
you can walk them.
Yes.
So,
I've seen that
and
online.
So cool.
So cool.
I'll explain this further because this is awesome. So you're
He's
like
very
in a
excited.
blank warehouse, empty warehouse, and they have like projectors from the ceiling that project the entire floor plan of the building on the floor, and you can walk through it.
Yes.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I do that when I see that my client is not quite convinced about the dimensions of the bathrooms or the bedrooms, or they feel like the kitchen is not the best, so they can walk it and they can see it. So that's another good technology to use.
That's a great
And
How much does it cost? Do you
Oh
remember?
my gosh, I can't remember right now.
couple $100, something like that.
Yeah, but I have an appointment this Wednesday. Oh, tomorrow.
Oh.
So I will let you know how
exciting.
much it costs. But
Yeah.
it's worth it because
Yeah.
that is when your client will be fully convinced of going with that floor plan. And then, and then there is one app that is, I will recommend this app for beginners, but I will say that seasonal flippers can use it too. It's called Home Planner. So you can scan the room, or you can upload your floor plans, and the app will make the elevations. It is good for lighting, specifically for a scale. So if you're not sure about how your light feature will look on that space, you can just upload the link. So it will create a 3D image, so you can see how the light feature will fit in your space, because it's real size, it's the real measurement. So you will have a clear vision about how those finishes are gonna look.
Nice.
It's a paid version, but it's also free, so you can do that.
Yeah. I need to do that. There's been, I usually guess or measure pretty accurately, but there's been a few times where we've gotten specifically like a chandelier or something, and I'm like, no, that's too big, too small. Like we hold it up, I'm like, no, it's got to go backward.
And you'll
Redo
know right
it.
away too.
So to not have to make that guesswork, make the return, redo, like it's always tough when you make a decision in your head as a designer and then you can't do it for whatever reason. You have to go back and rethink because you have just an image of what you want. And if you can't have it, you got to.
You know what? It's funny. I also use ChatGPT for that. So I asked them what will be an appropriate scale from this space. So that's something. But as I said, sometimes your client won't have that vision. And I get at the point that I grab a piece of paper and make a big drawer and I put it there and I say, see, it's going to be from here to here so they can see it. And you have to find a way. Well, that's zero technology. This is back to the old time. But they have to see it. Once they see it in their space, they say, okay, I like this. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, I know we even have used Gemini and ChatGPT and whatever one has the best image processing at the moment, because they're all one-upping each other. But I think we used Gemini when we designed our house because we wanted to show the contractor how exactly we wanted the spacing on things, and I think it was for the picture molding that we were doing.
Oh, yeah.
They just didn't understand, and they were like, can you just
Well, we were out of town. They're like, can't you just draw it on here? I'm like, no, I'm not there.
Yeah.
But I will give you an AI version to use. Yeah. And it worked fine.
Yeah,
it worked good. Should we do rapid fire?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You want to go?
Sure. So these are just whatever comes to your head, super quick.
That sounds fun.
What is your number one favorite paint color right now?
Swiss coffee for interiors and the black iron from the exteriors. Yeah.
All right. What's one trend that you hope disappears?
Oh, gosh. Those gold sluters. I don't like the gold sluters, unfortunately.
I feel the same. What's your favorite place to shop for lighting?
Unblessed.
Okay. Your biggest design mistake that you think flippers make?
Planning, or the lack of planning.
Agreed.
What's the best room to add drama?
Powder rooms, office, wet bars,
Matte black, brass, or chrome?
It depends of the style of the house, but my favorite is brass. You can work with that for many, many styles,
Favorite countertop?
Whistler. It's a quartz, but it have that elegant vibe. It's not that expensive, especially if you're working with bathrooms and wet parts. Go with Whistler. It's timeless. It gives you that marble style. It's simple, but it looks so well and easy to combine with many colors. And for kitchen countertops, I will say a classic Calacara. You can play around with that. I know Taj Mahal is trendy, but a good Calacara can make a difference.
I agree. What's one budget-friendly upgrade that every investor should consider doing?
Tile and painting. Yes. Find the right tile and play with the colors around. It's going to be good.
This is I'm going to throw this one at you. How do you like your wall texture?
Smooth. Very smooth. It's expensive, I know, but in the orange bill. So I'm trying to get it seamless because the idea is to have a light space.
Yeah, I would also say for tile, always look at the clearance aisle.
True.
Or just ask them if they don't have it displayed, like, hey, what do you have on clearance? Do you have stuff in the back? Because they'll always have stuff.
They have some,
And sometimes it is an amazing deal.
I mean, 100% with you there. I have a very, very nice handmade style Salish tile that costs under $5, and it's from one of those outlet sales store. So every time that I have the opportunity to use it, I use it. People love it.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it's normally stylish tile are around $20 per square foot. This is $5.
Yeah.
So you can get, you're right, Christian. Go and ask for things that they might
always.
have.
I mean, I do the same thing when I clothes shop, but I'm also cheap. So
yeah. One thing I want to say is it's really design. One is hard in general, but it's designing a house that's that costs a lot to do the design. That's that is hard, but to design a house that looks really good and looks really high end on the kind of budget that you do is so impressive.
Skill.
Yes. And you do such a beautiful job.
Oh, thank you so much. This means a lot to me because I remember my first flips looking at all Shannon's project, like saying, oh my gosh. So thank you.
Aww. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people that listen to this and that watch it will definitely learn a lot because you made things very approachable. You weren't gatekeeping anything, which most people do, just so you guys know. And being willing to share the resources and your go-tos is huge. And thank you so much for doing that because, again, most people gatekeep this information. I'm like, why?
It's also just hard. This is hard.
This is hard.
Yeah.
Even when you have all the info, you still might not succeed.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I feel like sharing is such an important thing. I mean, feel free to ask any question if you are new or if you are not sure. I'm still asking myself. I work really closely with realtors. That is one advice that I will give to any beginner or anybody who is just starting in this real estate business. Ask your realtor. They really know. And if you're afraid to ask them, this is how I start. I start to follow a lot of realtors, a lot of investors, and I send texts. I invite them to get some coffee sometimes. You will learn a lot.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
or this is my favorite part. In Seattle, you will have realtors that they only sell houses in a specific area. So they have such a valuable data that you can go and ask them. So do that. And another thing that I would say, if you have the time, make the post. It is really interesting, all the feedback that you're going to get from buyers.
Yeah.
So I was 100% sure about one of my primary bathrooms that we finished. I love it. I thought it was beautiful. And a buyer came and said, I love it, but I think would it be nice if you used a taupey tone for the back of the vanity, like this wall shouldn't be painted in a different tone. And I stopped and thought about it and said, immediately went to Gemini and said, paint this and show me how it looked. It was right. It looks much more elevated and it wouldn't cost anything because it's just paint.
Just paint, yeah.
Wow.
$20.
So that is important feedback that you can get through social media.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and having a network of fellow investors to walk your projects as well, that's huge. While you're in the process and ask opinions and be open to the feedback that they give you.
Yes.
Because that's the one thing that I love about our community is that we are always going to share whatever our opinions are. And it's not because we don't like you or something weird. Like it's like we want to help you. Like that's what we all do. And that's so fun. Our community in Seattle specifically is awesome.
It's a great community for sure.
I don't know about the rest of the country. But I know for sure we are.
Me
That's
neither.
not saying that they're not.
I'm sure they are.
don't know.
Me neither. I just moved from Lima to Seattle and
Yeah.
never really experienced anything else. So.
Nothing in between.
Yeah.
Well, Fabi, thank you so much. If people want to follow you on Instagram, where can they do that?
Yes, they can follow me on Instagram. I'm Fabiola Villanueva. I'm actually Fabiola Villanueva, but many people here know me as Fabiola Papas.
Yes.
But you can find me like that in Instagram or TikTok. So
Okay.
TikTok is where I post the majority of our projects because I have so many positive responses from buyers. So I usually go with TikTok. But yes, feel free to ask any question. And I'm happy to help anybody who has questions about design.
Yeah. And if they want to hire you, how can they do that? How can they reach out?
They can reach out to me to my social media. It could be Instagram or TikTok. So I'm very active there. So or they can send me an email too. So happy to help anybody, especially new investors.
Yes.
They don't know how to start, what to do first. So
It's very overwhelming. Yes.
I know, I'll be
The
there.
first few,
It's a lot of decisions.
Yes,
Yeah.
the
A lot of
first few
decisions.
that you do, not just first one, but the first few that you do. It is very overwhelming.
I know.
A lot of second guessing. It's a lot. So, and by the end, you'll probably have decision fatigue.
Well, thank you for coming.
Yes.
You were a
so
wealth
much.
of knowledge. I learned
Yes.
a ton, and I'm so grateful that you were here to share all
Thank
your
you so much for inviting me, guys. I have such a great time with you today.
Yeah,
we
this
had
was
a great
great.
time.
Well, thank you so much. That's it for this episode of the Awesome in Seattle podcast. We will see you next time. Bye.